Matthew Walsh. What this is for American Society of Civil Engineers, an organization, the student chapter of it. This is a concrete canoe competition. We have mechanicals, aerospace, ocean engineers, civil engineers working on this, and it's to be competing in Tennessee this spring.
What's your favorite part of this competition?
Oh, it's my first year, so I'm not sure yet.
Okay, so it hasn't happened yet.
Correct. We have anywhere from seniors to freshmen working on it.
Awesome.
It's so easy to pick up.
I know.
We got them all. Jenna. Get promoted.
Matt, you have it? Okay.
Yes.
There you go. How do you guys get this stuff?
The aftermath.
So you have to learn what you're doing now. So they got different containers of white cement. They're using this probably polypropylene fiber that's supposed to help a little bit with the reinforcement thing. A little teeny, but doesn't give it a lot of strength. And then the different aggregates are already batched and mixed, and they're in there. So they're ready to go in the mixer. And what we do is we dry mix the aggregates first, and they'll probably add the fluffy stuff and try to get it to move around. It's hard to get this to work. And
I'm sure.
And then they'll put the cement in the hydration water. So there's water in here to coat the aggregates, and then there's water to react with the cement. That's the chemical reaction water. So, and you can see the lab is nice and clean at this point. For grout. So you use this in the tile. When you put the tile down, they put a thin set down, and they use that. It gives it a little more flexibility.
How long does it take to cure?
Usually we wait 28 days for the maximum strength.
Okay.
And usually they test it at 3, 7, 14, and 28 days kind of thing.
Okay.
So you can tell right away if you test it at 7 days if your mix is bad.
Okay. So in 7 days.
You get, yeah. And I got a bunch of cylinders ready for testing.
Okay.
In the container, and we used all the Weston cooking oil you can find. That's mold release. A whole bunch of cylinders. There it is!
Okay.
Kim!
Look at
This has a little thing. I had it stored so I wouldn't lose it. And there's two different types of reinforcement. They galvanize half-inch wire. They call it a wire cloth. We call it a mesh. Alright, you got the wire cloth. Alright. Alright, the screws are actually to keep everything at the right spot. They're keeping the mesh off the mold, and then the one set of screws that are uptight are the actual thickness of the boat screws. And then the second reinforcement is what they just had trouble with. They have this...
it's like they weaving it through?
Well, they did try that. It didn't work too good, so they're just doing a little bit of weaving. But it's... concrete doesn't take tension. So we put steel in it to take tension.
Right.
And if you pull the steel before you let it go, if you pull it real tight, then to get the concrete to fail in tension, you got to pull it farther. So these are called pre-stressing cables. We're going to pull them through. They're going to put 135 pounds on each cable and yank them tight.
Okay. So that's what they're doing right now, is just providing the tension?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then they'll pour the boat, let it cure with the cables in compression, and then they'll come in and they'll cut the cables, and then they'll clamp down on the boat real hard.
And what's the mold made out of?
The mold's here, I'll show you. It's kind of the same thing that you see there without the gray.
Okay.
All right, the company out of
It's just like foam.
It's foam with different density foams.
Okay.
And then there's a layer of resin down. Here you can see it a little better here. See, there's a box I use that they made it originally. It's all computerized up to a point, and so
it's like a 5-axis router.
Yeah, all right. And so the CNC milling machine did all this foam, and then there's a crew that actually put a little teeny thin layer of chopped glass, which you can see right there. There's two different colors. From here's reddish, and then it's gray. So that's the chopped glass right there, right? And that's just placed over that foam to get it stiffened up. And then they put this expensive resin on the outside. And if you look carefully, you can see the CNC bit grooves on this thing.
Okay.
Now, the company Vectorworks was so dang busy that they only got them up to here. So Andy and the gang has finished the last part on their own.
And then what's this outside white layer?
This is a practice cutaway section of what they're doing.
Okay.
They did that last weekend to try to practice everything. So you can see the screws
so
are still in there.
So this is a 7-day cure from that?
Yeah. And this doesn't have the cables pulled.
Okay.
This has cables somewhere in there. I'm not sure where. Usually they stick up.